Should you consider the Netherlands as a foreign startup entrepreneur? In this video, we're going to find out what the Dutch residence permit for startup entrepreneurs is, what are the requirements, and some of the benefits of setting up a business in the Netherlands as a foreign entrepreneur. Okay, so first of all, let's consider why the Netherlands can be beneficial for you as a foreign entrepreneur. There are several benefits associated with the Netherlands, and I'm going to go through a few of them with you now, and afterwards I will progress into the actual Dutch residence permit for startup entrepreneurs and the requirements for that. So, first and foremost, innovation and technology are prioritized in the Dutch economy. What the government does, they actually offer competitive R&D incentives. So if you have an innovative technology such as a patent, then it can be very favorable for you. Secondly, the Dutch economy is strong and competitive. Moreover, the Netherlands is an EU member. So that gives you access to the EU market and the EU business regime. Another point that may be both relevant in terms of business as well as your own personal life is the level of language proficiency in the Dutch population. It is very high level. I've been to the Netherlands about 3 times. The last time I was there was about 6 years ago, and I've experienced that firsthand, that the level of English language proficiency is very, very high, which can be very important for many entrepreneurs. In fact, it's one of the reasons, because a lot of people are proficient in the English language, that's why they initially prioritize English-speaking countries such as the US, Canada, or the UK. However, if you're looking for a European alternative, then the Netherlands could be a suitable option with regard to that factor. Now, on the last point, what I would say is that the corporation tax rate, as it's called, CIT, corporate income tax rate in the Netherlands, I would say is relatively competitive in many aspects. It's certainly a bit more competitive than the UK. So how it works is there are 2 brackets when it comes to corporation rate tax. Now, if your corporate income is up to 200,000 euros, the rate is 19%. And anything in excess of that, the rate would be 25.8%. It's more competitive than certain other European nations, let's say, for example, the UK. However, of course, you can also find more tax-friendly countries. So that's one for you to decide, and something that I will touch on other videos. Now, let's actually look into the Dutch residence permit for foreign entrepreneurs, as I would call it, the Netherlands startup visa. Now, first of all, I would say that the visa is actually initially valid for 1 year only. And after that 1 year, you need to convert to another form of residence permit, most commonly the residence permit for self-employed people. I'm not going to go into that one because that's outside the scope of this video, but I would just say that there are stringent income requirements with that one, as well as the nature of your work. It must be beneficial to the Dutch economy. Those are some of the primary requirements. So let's actually look at the requirements when it comes to the Dutch residence permit for foreign entrepreneurs. There are 5 key requirements here. Now, first and foremost, there is the fact that you need to work with a facilitator. As you can see, there are certain requirements with facilitators if you actually go on the Dutch government's website, and there is a wide list of them available. So a bit similar to the UK in the fact that you need a third party's approval. The only difference is, I would just compare it to the UK, is that the list of facilitators is much wider than the UK, where there is only 3 in the UK. Technically 4, but 3. So you need to work with a facilitator. That's condition number 1. Number 2, the product or your service, it must be innovative. Again, very similar to the UK, this one is. Now, what I like about the Netherlands in this one is that they have a more definitive criteria in terms of what they consider and what constitutes an innovative business. Now, the innovation is assessed by the Netherlands Enterprise Agency. There are 3 requirements, no, not requirements, but 3 conditions, and you need to meet at least 1. Number 1, the product or service is new to the Dutch economy. There is nothing like it. That's number 1. Number 2, there is a new technology for production, distribution, or marketing. And number 3, there is a new innovative organizational and process approach. So you need to fulfill one of these. Now, if you actually do refer to the website, or if you work with me on that, they actually have certain examples of what that could be. Again, one of them is that it represents new technology. But what I also really like about the Netherlands in this aspect is their emphasis and acknowledgement of socially responsible enterprise. That's something that lacks in the UK. So there is that one. Of course, if you need help with that, if you do work with me, then we can identify whether your product or service could be innovative or not. Number 3, business plan. You need to have a detailed business plan outlining every step of the process, the legal structure of the business, how you will technically transform the idea to a viable business model and firm. That's exactly where I provide assistance with business plans. Generally, I evaluate business plans. I take a limited number of business plan writing projects per year, but generally I do encourage entrepreneurs to write their own business plans. So definitely something that I can help you with. Number 4, the entrepreneur and the facilitator, they must be registered in the Netherlands Chamber of Commerce, also known as KVK. Now, if you cannot do that, you can get a declaration from your facilitator that you will commit to doing that. So that's something that will probably most likely be up to the facilitator to agree with, and something that you need to agree with them. Condition number 5, and finally, you need to have enough personal funds to sustain yourself for a year. The general principle is that you will not rely on state funds and social welfare. You can sustain yourself. So this generally involves in you showing access to that level of money. Now, how much that is, it's assessed on the basis of being 70% of the minimum wage in the Netherlands. So, very important to fulfill that one. Of course, this video is a very general overview of it, but I hope it helps clarify what is expected. Now, if you need help, either with identifying your business model, identifying your innovation, or your business plan, feel free to visit my website and contact me, and I'll be happy to see if I can help you. Thanks for watching.